Good evening, everyone. Edward Leos here, John Maxwell leadership coach, speaker, and trainer, and also business growth strategist. One of my shifts that I'm going to be doing moving forward with a lot of my clients and helping them and their businesses grow. So I'm excited about that. Happy Sunday evening, August 8th. And so again, I love the fact that we're continuing to do these on a consistent basis, and I'm really excited about us doing that. If you're joining the call, please let us know where you're calling in from or where you're actually joining in from, and we'll go from there. If you're watching this on replay, feel free to put this replay in the comments as well. And at the same time, if you guys have been getting some value out of this, please share this not only on your social media channels through Facebook, but also anywhere that you can. I know there's a lot of ways to do that now and get the word out there. Amanda, thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Happy Sunday to you as well. I'm really excited about today's talk. Like I said, it's going to be a quick 15 minutes or less. But again, I'm excited because it's 10 tips for creative thinking and problem solving. Man, I mean, I guess because there's a lot of problems going on, not just in this world, but just in your general life. I mean, I think we're always going to come across these things, and problems are going to kind of creep their way up. So how are you going to solve them? You kind of can't just stay in that box and just kind of hope that everything works and go from there. So how are you going to think creatively and figure out what are you going to do and get to that next level? So let's run through this list. And then if you got comments or questions, man, pop those in the comments bar, man. If we get a little interaction going here, that would be fantastic as well. But number one, ask yourself, actually ask someone who's unfamiliar for their thoughts. Why does that matter? It's getting someone else's opinion, someone else's insight, someone who's not involved in that situation, and getting an opportunity to kind of figure out their insights. It's like when you're too close to a problem or too close to something, you can't really see the solution. Then you go ask for someone's opinion or someone's insight, and all of a sudden they say something and it's like, oh my gosh, it was right there the whole time. And so that's why this is important, is because if you go ask someone who's unfamiliar with the problem for their thoughts, you're going to get different opinions on it. You're going to get different insights to it. And that's actually the next one, number two, which is exploring opposing opinions and beliefs. So you first ask people for those questions and comments and thoughts and say, hey, tell me a little bit about what you think I should do here. But then secondly is, what if you find someone who has a completely opposite view to what you're trying to solve? That's going to give you perspective on both ends of the spectrum, which is really important nowadays. It's actually really hard nowadays because everybody's either one way this way or one way that way. It's very rare that we're able to kind of actually talk and discuss things. But that's what we want to strive for as leaders. That's what's going to separate us from everybody else out there in the world right now, is if we can look at things from all angles, not get upset, but take it in and still look at how we can move forward on a decision. So number two, explore opposing opinions, beliefs, etc. Number three, ask, what would I do differently if I had to start from scratch? This takes you back to the beginning, and it goes back to, hey, when the problem first started or when the first situation arise, what would I do differently? And there's a lot of that you can do whenever you have a situation that kind of comes your way. Sponsorship break there. Just kidding. But you kind of go back to what you would start from and where you were at the beginning and how you're going to move forward on things. It gets you in a different mindset. So first off, you're looking at people who are unfamiliar with that problem. Number two, looking for opposing opinions or beliefs. But number three is like kind of going back and replaying where you were. What would you do differently to get you where you were? Okay, so that's number three. Number four, this is actually one of my favorites. It's called free writing or brainstorming. Now, what does that mean? That is literally, if your problem is, how to lose weight or something like that, I don't know, you start writing down all of these things that go with it. Just free writing. Like, what does losing weight mean to me? How can I overcome this? Who do I need to help me with this? And then you start seeing all of the different things. When you are just free flowing, all of a sudden you get that creative juices going. You're not thinking within that box, and really focus on ideas, concepts, thoughts. It doesn't matter what they are, good, bad, or indifferent. You just put that all on the paper. or your computer. If you're typing, if you're a fast typer, type it up on your computer. I'm a faster writer. I like to visually see what I'm doing. And I use the free writing and brainstorming quite a bit. I'm a creative, but that actually helps me with problem solving in a lot of ways too, because it gets me out of the strategic way of just looking at things black and white. So number 5, kind of set that problem aside and get outside and exercise. This is actually one of my favorites because I do this quite often. I'm a big runner. And so it's really easy for me just to get on the road, go run, get my head cleared, think about my thoughts. And every time that I have run or gone to exercise and I've been intentional about what I've been thinking about, all of a sudden I get ideas. That's actually how we helped launch this. That actually is how I've decided to really be more focused on business growth and strategy and helping businesses expand, because we're really good at what we do. And it all came from, why am I not helping people in that way as well? So these are ideas that kind of come while you're exercising. What does that matter? You got endorphins who are being released into your system when you're exercising. The blood's flowing, thoughts are going. And if you're very intentional about what you're doing, all of a sudden you start seeing different outcomes and different ideas and how you're doing that. So the 5 things recapped. Number 1, ask someone unfamiliar with the problem for their thoughts. Number 2, explore opposing opinions, beliefs, etc. Opposites attract sometimes. Number 3, ask yourself, what would I do differently if I had to start from scratch and do this all over? Number 4, use free writing and brainstorming. I love this one. It's just free flow. Put it all on paper and let it happen. Number 5, set the problem aside, get out, go exercise. Heck, my good friends, go fishing. Dude, do something different. Just chill, go outside and do whatever. Just be away from the problem and put it aside and then come back to it. All right, we're in the home stretch. Number 6. I love this one. It's a John Maxwell principle, but it's always ask why. That word why is so freaking powerful. And it's really about exploring your creative side. If you start asking why, it takes you back to when you were a kid and you used to say that to your parents, probably till you got in trouble. But anyway, you would always ask why. And why this, Dad, or why that, Mom? But why is such a powerful word that you start interjecting into your problems. It's going to help you with the solutions as well, because you're opening up the creative juices and really exploring different options on how you can get to the other side, if you will. So number 7, I like this one too. It's about disrupting your regular routines, changing your environment. We're creatures of habit. There's some of us that have been going to work the same way, driving the same way. And then, you get on the road, you get off the road here, you park in the same spot, you eat lunch at the same time. Disrupt those regular practices and really focus on how you can change your environment and how you can do things a little bit differently. If your morning routine is a certain way, mix it up, do it in the afternoon, and vice versa. Any way that you can kind of break that synapse and just really go and focus on, man, that's kind of different. That's where you get that creativity and things going. It's just interrupting the patterns. That's where you're going to kind of get some of that creative juices from there as well. Number 8, daydream. You got to let the mind wander. What works for me about daydream, I'm a daydreamer already. I've got a little bit of ADD, if you can't tell right now, but I'm the one that you say squirrel, I'm looking over there. It is what it is, but I'm a creative, and that's how it works. But you know what helps me a lot? Music. Music is it's just so powerful. Find your zone. Find the thing that really moves you, whether it's country music, rock, easy listening, jazz, whatever that is. Find your music and get in that moment with it and just listen. That's also can be combined. Sorry, I'm so excited. Can be combined with the free writing and brainstorming, because you got the music going, you got different sensors going all at the same time. So that's really a powerful tool for you to do there right there as well. Number 9, eliminate negativity and say yes more. I really like this one because I'm a big proponent about guarding your energy. When you start guarding your energy and you start focusing on what comes in, it's going to be better about what goes out as well. So guard your negative and put more positivity out there as well. Say yes a little bit more. Don't go as far as that movie that Jim Carrey was in, that yes man or whatever, where he basically said yes to everything. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying be more open to saying yes and be more open to doing things rather than just shutting things off and saying no. Okay. And the last one, which I like to, is get involved with other creatives. Now you're going to probably say, well, man, I'm not creative at all. But those, if it's not the word creatives, get involved with like-minded people. Again, it's the law of the environment. We talk about this time and again with John Maxwell. It's talking about who you associate yourself with and who you align yourself with. Now, this doesn't even have to be in person. I mean, shoot, I've been doing Zoom happy hours and I love it, but I'm staying connected to some of my best friends that way. And that's because of where we are with COVID and everything. Is now we've opened up a whole wide world of how we can communicate and interact with each other. Now, so think about that as well. How can I think outside the box where I don't have to just be face to face with someone? I could be on a computer talking to someone, on my phone doing a FaceTime. I could be on the phone, whatever it is. Find a way to connect. And that's the biggest way to do it. So let's run through our list. And I think we're going to be done here unless anybody has any comments or questions on this list as we move forward. All right, 10 tips to think outside the box and problem solve. Number 1, ask someone unfamiliar with the problem for their thoughts. That's a good one. Again, questions. Number 2, explore opposing beliefs and opinions. Opposite ends of the spectrum. They do attract, but that's where you're going to get insight from everything else. Let's be bigger people than what's going on in this world right now. Number 3, ask what would I do differently if I had to start from scratch? If I had to go back to the beginning, what would I do differently? Number 4, use free writing and brainstorming. I love this one. Just free flow. Write it on a piece of paper, get your journal out, and just let it flow. Number 5, set the problem aside. Get out, go somewhere, nature, walking, hiking, exercising, whatever that is. Find that zone where you can just kind of get away, then come back to it. Number 6, always ask why. That's really about exploration. It's really about thinking outside the box in itself. Ask why with everything. Number 7, disrupt your regular routines, change your environment. That's important as well. New environment, get you thinking in a different way as all the time. If you're used to doing the same thing every time, mix it up. So that's one of the things there. We're on number 8. Man, we're almost done. Daydream. Let your mind wander a little bit. What are you going to do? Music helps, man. I love music. Again, combine that with the free writing and brainstorming. Danny, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate it. Number 9, eliminate negativity. Probably should be number 1 because if you got a negative thought process, all of a sudden that's going to block any kind of creative thinking going on. The problem will only get bigger and bigger and bigger. So eliminate negativity as much as possible. Focus on the positive insight. Say yes more. Be more accommodating and go on from there. And number 10, which is get involved with other creatives. And I would just like to say this is the law of the environment. Align yourself with the right people in your circle, people you can trust and go to and ask, and that you feel comfortable with getting their response from as well. So again, those are the quick 10 tips to thinking outside the box. I hope that helped you. If I can be of any assistance to you, to your team, to your company or whatever, I got my website kind of right below this, edwardleos.com. Hit me up there or, comment here on Facebook, message me or whatever. But anything that I can do to help your team grow or your company grow, I'd love to have the opportunity to do that. If you found some value in this, please share to either your Facebook or your social media circles or whatever. But any way I can help you, I'd love to do that. In the meantime, I'm just so excited. It's a Sunday night. Have a great week. Have a great weekend, the end of it. For some of you who are starting school, kids starting tomorrow, happy first day of school. My kids start a week from tomorrow. But don't stop believing. That is our mantra. And the last thing that I want to talk about too is time is now. That is actually my calling sign moving forward with my company. It's basically about taking action where you are and not sitting on your butt and letting life happen. Go for it. Go next level because the time is now. Again, I appreciate every one of you. Catch me on edwardleos.com. We got blog posts that are being added, and we're going to put our podcast on there too. So have a blessed week, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.